Everybody has their time. Everybody has their time. I mean, not everybody. There are people out there who there's just nobody for them. Mm-hmm. Yep. People like to say things like, there's someone for everyone. Nope. Not at all true. And stop saying it because it's mean to people who never find anybody. There are millions of people out there who we've all unanimously decided they are light speed ugly and nobody kisses them on the lips even. Nobody touches their genitals their entire life. They just wash it and then they die. That's all that happens. Oh, and if you're feeling bad for them, you can go find one and fuck one tomorrow. You can just solve the problem right there. With all that kindness in your heart. Well, go fuck one. Nah, I didn't think so. That's the one way we're all mean. Nobody does that. Nobody fucks down. Nobody. People fuck up or across.
The comedy stylings of Mr. Louis C.K., ladies and gentlemen. God, I miss that guy. I hope he makes a comeback. The dude is fucking hilarious. And frankly, I don't give a shit that he tried to rub one out in front of somebody or whatever. I don't know. I don't care about what he does in his personal time. I want to hear his comedy, So does that make me a bad guy? Probably, but I think I admitted a couple of fucking podcasts ago that I am a sexist cunt. I acknowledge it. I'm not going to go back into that because every time I talk about, the ladies, especially in regards to the Me Too movement, I always get a fucking bunch of hate mail, so I'm going to stay away from it. But has anybody heard of that little bit? The whole reason I put that intro into this podcast is because I heard of this. Has anybody heard of this term incel? Which I guess is like short for involuntarily celibate. Basically, people that are unfuckable, right? I guess the guy, I don't know, did he like drive a van into a bunch of people or some shit? There was a guy like last week or the week before that I think he killed a bunch of people, and they were saying that he's an incel, and I don't know, like the unfuckable, right? They're either driving fucking, minivans into crowds, or they're showing up at some place and fucking shooting everybody with their AR-15. Ladies, can you please just do us all a favor in the name of what do you call it? National security. Can you just every now and then just blow one of these fucking guys? I guarantee you that the gun nut, the one that is gonna fucking snap. If somebody just fucking sucked his cock for like 5 minutes, countless numbers of lives would be saved, because I mean it really just in the end that's all it boils down to, right? They got bullied, and and I don't know, maybe somebody made fun of their shirt or some shit, but it all basically comes down to the fact that they're just not getting blown. I mean, ladies, you have so much fucking power residing between your legs. And I know that I'm making it seem like I'm trying to pimp you out to the gun nuts, but how many fucking soldiers have gone to overseas and fought and died in defense of this country? I mean, I mean, you want to be equal, right? So here's your chance. Here's your chance to do something that would actually make a fucking difference. I'm fucking with you, ladies. Jesus fucking Christ. Nobody can take a goddamn joke anymore. But yeah, I mean, I mean, let's look at all of the fucking shooters, right? The school shooters or just the mass shooters. Every single one. You look at these fucking guys. Even that kid that went to the black church and shot up a bunch of people. If somebody had just fucking touched his dick, I'm like 99.999% certain he never would have fucking um, you know, gone to that church and shot all those people. And I don't mean this, I'm not saying that to disrespect the dead. I'm just saying that had somebody fucking blown, what was this? It was like Dylan Roof fucking, McTater Skins. I don't know what the fuck his last name was. All I know is he looked like the whitest white dude on the planet. If somebody had just fucking fondled his balls, he would have been all right. I mean, yeah, he's a fucking nut, but it all boils down to is just these guys, they just need to get fucking laid. And I mean, like you see, like every time there's a shooting or any time the discussion of gun rights or whatever, or gun reform comes up, on social media, there is an immediate shitstorm of unfuckable people talking about how, they're never going to give up their guns, and even though nobody's asking them to, they're just saying, hey, can we at least take better fucking precautions when putting when putting fucking weapons into the hands of fucking psychos? Can we just fucking regulate it a little bit fucking better? I mean, for fuck's sakes, you have to fucking to drive a car. Not only do you have to have fucking a license and insurance, you have to pass fucking tests. You have to register your fucking car. You have to prove that you're not a fucking danger to everybody out there, even though it's obvious if you've been in traffic. There's a lot of fucking people that, had I been the one to fucking give the driving test, they would basically be taking the fucking bus. Can we at least have something a little, at least on par with that kind of regulation when it comes to fucking guns? Can we do that? Nobody wants to take them from you. We just want to make sure that fucking psychos don't get their hands on them, or at least as easily as they seem to fucking as easily as they seem to fucking be able to get them. It's insane, and you always hear like my favorite. I don't even know why I'm talking about guns, but my favorite fucking argument is the discussion that goes on about the AR-15, right? Because there's this whole like hullabaloo over the fact that some people consider it a fucking assault rifle, even because I guess they're assuming that the AR means assault rifle. There are people on the other side that are like, no, you guys are fucking stupid. This is not an assault rifle. It's just semi-automatic. It's not the fucking problem. On the left, or really not the left, the fucking centrist, okay? If there's anybody here that is like, I don't know, that considers themselves on the right, let me just educate you a little bit, okay? The people that are on the left, which the actual left would be progressives, such as myself, right? We don't give a fuck about your guns. The only thing we care about is just maybe regulating it a little bit better than what's currently going on. Nobody wants to take anything from you. We're not, we don't consider you guys fucking gun nuts and Nazis and all that other shit. We're progressives. Now the liberals, that a lot of you guys on the right have a problem with. Those people are centrists. They're not the left. If anything, they're center right. They're just fucking nutty when it comes to a lot of the social issues, right? So the people that if you're one of these, these gun-toting fucking guys or girls or gals or whatever, progressives are not fucking looking to take anything from you. We're just trying to make sure that people that shouldn't fucking have them, which would definitely mean, people that are fucking mentally, that have severe mental illness, that, maybe they beat the fucking dog shit out of their wife or girlfriend. Like these people really shouldn't have guns in their possession. Everybody else, fine. And those of us that are on the actual left, we understand the AR-15 is not a fucking assault rifle. But, and I mean, you knew there was a but coming. But the problem is with the AR-15 is that if it's not the problem, right? If it's not the gun, and I'm not trying to take it from you. But if the AR-15 is not the problem, then why is it always the go-to gun for these mass shooters? Just explain that to me. Why is it that 9 times out of 10, obviously not every fucking situation or every mass shooting was done by an AR-15, but a significant fucking portion of them were. Why is it that it seems to be the weapon of choice when crazy people go on a fucking shooting spree? Explain that to me. And then explain to me why we shouldn't maybe consider, I don't know, restricting access to it, or I don't know. I don't know what the fucking answer is. Obviously, I don't want to just take it away from people, because I do understand there are people that are very fucking responsible. Not everybody that owns a gun is a fucking lunatic. Some people just use it for fucking target practice, or they're, fucking shooting varmints or some shit. I understand that. That's why I don't want to take it away. But something needs to be done about it, because if it wasn't a preferred weapon for fucking mowing people down, then you would see the others. You would see a lot more or a variety as far as when people decide to go on mass shootings. You would see much more variety than the AR-15. It seems, I mean, not always, obviously, I said that in the beginning, but it does seem to be the gun of choice for a lot of people that decide to go on fucking killing sprees. And, just explain it to me. I'm willing to listen, but just shutting down or calling me an idiot or calling other people an idiot or like that doesn't really fucking solve the problem. Just explain to me why it's the preferred fucking gun of choice. And then if you're going to at least acknowledge that, then please make your argument for why people should have open access to them. If you can explain that to me, like I said, I'm willing to listen. But first you have to, that's really the whole problem, when it comes to the gun discussion, is people do not seem to be able to have this conversation without it just right from the fucking beginning starting with insults. I mean, you got one side that thinks that if you own a gun, that you're a fucking nut, and then there's another side, and then there's the other side that is absolutely convinced that if shit hits the fan, that they're gonna be able to fucking hold off the fucking military that will come through their town with with their 38 special and a fucking I don't know the fucking names of guns, but it seems to me like for most, it's just impossible to have a conversation that doesn't automatically start in the fucking negative. I think if people could calmly discuss these things on both sides, and if both sides would actually listen to the other, there might be some there might be some middle ground. What I do know, at least based on stats and polls and shit, like 98% of the country, it includes gun owners and people that don't own guns. 98% of the country would like to see some degree of gun reform. Of course, there are some within the society on both sides that have a very extreme perspective on this, that it's either no guns, or I want every fucking gun and I want to be able to own bazookas and tanks and shit like that. There are both, there are those factions on each fucking side. I would say that the 98% that want some gun regulation are people that are, reasonable. They're rational. You can have, if people would take the fucking time, you could have a conversation. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if there's somebody out there that, is 100% like, the AR-15 is all right, there's nothing wrong with it, and yada, just please explain to me, and I will listen, without prejudice. I don't have an issue with owning guns. I have a gun. I'm not a fucking expert or anything like that, but, just explain to me why the AR-15 is the gun of choice for a lot of these people. And then also explain to me, after you've explained that, why no sort of fucking regulation, or no, like the AR-15 should not be, looked at in any way. Just explain that to me, and then hopefully, if you can convince me, then fine. I will never ever fucking open my mouth about the AR-15. If you can convince me of why people should be allowed to have it, if it is in fact the gun of choice. And yes, I know it's only semi-automatic, and I know that just means, it fires off one bullet at a time, but the functioning within the gun itself, for those of you, and I learned this from listening to Bill Burr, so if you want a more in-depth, well, I don't know. You should just listen to Bill Burr's podcast regardless, but he looked it up, and, I'm going to share it with those of you that don't listen to Bill Burr for some fucking reason. What makes a gun semi-automatic is that, well, okay, first let's explain what an automatic is. Obviously, an automatic is you pull the trigger and the gun just continually fires. You don't have to keep pulling the trigger. A semi-automatic weapon, it can fire multiple bullets, but it only comes in like single shots, right? So you pull the trigger, one bullet comes out. Now, what separates that from, say, a revolver, or like a 6-shooter, is that on the 6-shooters, you actually have to fucking cock the gun each time you shoot it. With semi-automatics, the internal fucking mechanism within the gun takes care of that whole, the cocking side of it. So you don't have to keep, cocking the gun, which is, if you think about like all of the fucking movies that we watch, right? Where, like people will fucking, like the 9mm, right? Is a semi-automatic, weapon, right? But for some reason in movies, you see people fucking, constantly fucking cocking the gun like it needs to be cocked that much. Once you load the weapon and you cock it once, at least on those types of guns, that's all that's necessary. You don't have to keep doing it. But of course, in movies and TV shows, it's all for the, the dramatic effect of it. So I get it. Same thing with the fucking shotgun. People love that fucking sound. And you really don't need to fucking do it that often. I mean, from what I understand, well, I don't know. I'm not a fucking gun expert. I could be wrong with the shotgun, but, I don't know. What the fuck am I talking about? Wasn't I talking about people that can't get fucked? Or that nobody wants to fuck them? Well, I guess that's basically the fucking same, right? I'm just saying, to go back to that is, ladies, a lot of lives could be saved if you just, every now and then, you fucking hold your nose, you bite the bullet, and you just blow a fucking gun nut, right? I don't know. I mean, especially if it's somebody like, like you see it all the time, especially with like the cool shooter, the school shooters, right? Like that last one. Weren't they saying like, yeah, like of all the people that they fucking, that go to the school, everybody was like, yeah, this guy is the one that's most likely to fucking be a school shooter. I mean, obviously the FBI didn't give a shit. Obviously the police didn't fucking give a shit, and apparently there was lots of warnings that this kid was, gonna snap. Couldn't you guys have just, I don't know, fucking flipped a coin or, drew straws and just one of you ladies just fucking, if you had just blown him, I guarantee you that, I mean, I think it's just like, like on a semi-annual basis, right? If there's a kid in the school that you're like, hey, he looks like the type to fucking, shoot up the school. Just on every 6 months, you fucking, you throw one of you throw somebody to the fucking wolves, and it's their job to blow this guy, and to just fucking take his mind off of all of the fucking, other shit that's got him fucking, plotting the deaths of your classmates. And again, if you don't realize that I'm fucking joking here before anybody takes this shit serious, I am fucking joking, although there is some logic to my fucking argument, right? I mean, ladies, you can't tell me that there's not at least one dude out of, I mean, assuming that you've had, more than one fucking sex partner. You can't tell me that there's not one dick out there that you're like, fuck, I really wish I had never sucked that or got on that or whatever. I mean, ladies, I know that that you have at least one of those. And if you just, instead of fucking that guy who told you that, that he owned a fucking Porsche and it always was in the fucking shop, instead of just fucking that guy, if you had just sucked fucking one of these fucking shooters, if you just suck their dick, just, and I mean, they don't get any sort of fucking action, so it's not going to take very long. If you just did that, so many fucking people would still be alive. But anyway, I don't know. What else did I want to fucking talk to you guys about? Oh, I saw, I was on Twitter, as always, and apparently there's some fucking discussion going on that I don't know, I guess ladies are trying to fucking turn cunt into like a positive thing. They're trying to remove the fucking stigma and sting of being called a cunt. No, absolutely fucking not. Okay, I don't ask for much in this life, I don't ask for much, but the one thing that I will put my foot down on is trying to fucking turn cunt into a fucking positive word. Okay, cunt is like, for me, being able to say cunt and for it to have the sort of effect that I want it to have. For me, that's like that is like, I don't know, for like fucking California girls to I don't know, have that fucking valley sound to their voice or whatever, where everything sounds like a fucking question. I don't know what the correct fucking wording is, but what I do know is that cunt needs to stay negative. And my reason is not so that I can call women cunts. Okay? I call everybody a fucking cunt. Male, female, fucking somewhere in between. You know, there are a lot of fucking cunts on this fucking planet, and they don't all have vaginas. Vaginas. You know, I mean, you got to give me this, all right? Just leave cunt alone, okay? I promise I won't call people that aren't cunts, right? I mean, if you're not a cunt, I'm not going to call you a cunt, right? Same thing with twat, you know. But if you're a fucking cunt, and I don't care, again, I don't care what your genitalia is, then you're a fucking cunt. And there's nothing fucking positive. You know, if I call somebody that cut me off in traffic a cunt, I want them to fucking, you know, assuming that they hear me say, I want them to be offended. I don't want them to be like, yeah, right on. You know, yeah, you're a cunt too. You know, just... Can we please just leave the words alone? You know? That's all I ask. Anyway, I think that's it. I'm gonna fucking wrap it up here. I think that's all I really wanted to fucking talk about anyway, right? But yeah, so fucking it's Tuesday. For those of you that are new to my podcast, I do a couple of these a week. Tuesdays and Thursdays is usually the days that I do it. Occasionally I throw in an extra one. All free of fucking charge. So, you know, I'll never understand why... Because I know fucking people listen, right? I've said this before. I know people listen. I look at the fucking... what do they call it? The... not the schematics. What the fuck is the name? No, it's not the logistics. I can't remember what the fucking word is, but you know, the thing that shows me, you know, like how many people have listened to the show, for how long, where, you know, like where they are in the world. For some reason I've got a lot of people that listen in Vietnam and what was the other place? I can't remember. It was like fucking Thailand or some shit. I can't remember, but you know, so I know that people are listening, but for some reason, you know, when it comes to subscribing, you know, they're just, I don't know what the fucking deal is. I mean, I could understand if I was charging you to fucking listen to this shit. I'd be like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. Who the fuck am I? You know, I'm just some fucking random person that's on the fucking, you know, out in the fucking ether talking into your fucking ear. I get it. If I was trying to charge you, then I would 100% get it. But if, you know, this is all fucking free of charge. So why are you acting like you know, like you're making a fucking a commitment here? You know, fucking subscribe or don't. You know, I'm not gonna fucking, you know, pander to you fucking cunts. But it never makes any fucking sense. You know, like, I listen to all types of fucking podcasts. Most of them are from fucking celebrities and shit. You know, or not really celebrities, but, you know, like comedians and shit. I don't really listen to any fucking celebrities, just comedians. Although, I guess there are celebrity comedians. But, you know, you get the fucking point. But I also listen to just, you know, people that fucking, you know, that, have managed to say some shit that has fucking, you know, made me interested or made me laugh or whatever, and I subscribe because why the fuck not? You know. So what I'm saying is we here at the effing podcast are sick of you guys fucking loafing. trying to get everything for fucking free and not trying to put anything, not trying to fucking show any gratitude. And, we're getting pretty fucking sick of it over here. And by we, I mean me and my dog Momo. Because, I'm pretty much running a one-man show over here. I don't have the luxury of, this is not a fucking job. I mean, I'm not making any fucking money off of it. So what? I'm gonna get an assistant to help me fucking put out mediocre fucking podcasts. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. But yeah. So I will. I'll definitely give you guys another podcast later in the week. Maybe another one or two. Who knows? Who fucking knows? But anyway, I hope you had a good weekend. Like always, don't take any shit. And ladies, think about blowing the fucking the psycho from your that you think is about to in your job. I don't want to tell fucking high school kids that's don't fucking do any of that shit. But if you're in college, and you're of age, and you see a guy that you're like, that dude looks like he is gonna show up one day with fucking armor and shit, just blow him. You don't even have to have a conversation with him, right? You could just walk up to him and, you might have to have a small conversation like, hey, follow me, right? And most likely he will, but you might want to hold his hand because he might, you might frighten him off, because he's gone isn't, fucking 22 years of nobody even being interested in fucking, touching his dick, let alone just having a conversation with him. So he might be like a little standoffish. So what you do is you go and you grab his hand and you say, hey, follow me. And you take him somewhere fucking quiet that you can get some fucking, privacy, and you just fucking blow him, right? That's all you got to just fucking blow him. And then when he's done, you get up and you fucking walk away. You don't have to say a fucking word. I guarantee you that guy will never ever consider shooting up any place because he's just gonna be like, what? Like, that's the greatest story that I think every guy, whether you're a fucking incel or you're just just a regular fucking dude, I think like I don't know. A lot of us don't really like I don't know. There's just so much fucking involved in trying to get laid. And, it'd be nice every now and then if we just, we didn't really have to do shit. You just, we could skip all the fucking, let me pretend like, like I'm really fucking interested in the shit that you're saying. And you can quit pretending like, like whatever. I don't know. I don't know what the fucking answer is. Either blow them or don't. I don't know. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here, all right? Take it easy. Don't take any shit and go fuck yourself. Peace.